This edition of Tech Talk is brought to you in part by Telex, the interconnection company, owners and operators of 56 Marietta, the most network-rich co-location facility in the Southeast. TAG TV and TAG Radio. Technology now has a voice of innovation and information. Get it on www.tagtvonline.com. Science, technology, engineering, and math, STEM, has been the month-long focus for our series that ends with a final look at the organization that's forming to make it all happen. TAG's very own Education Collaborative. Why STEM? Why TAG? And why should you get involved? Greetings, everyone. It's Tuesday, September 1st, 2009, and this is Tech Talk with Technology Association of Georgia President Tino Mantella. We wrap up our month-long series on science, technology, engineering, and math with our guest host, TAG's Education Collaborative Executive Director, John Hurlbut, as we explore the birth of this new TAG initiative and its plans for the future, with Education Collaborative Board members David Gould and Nancy Treaster. David was formerly chairman and CEO of Witness Systems. During his 8-year tenure, Witness grew from less than $10 million of annual revenue to close to $250 million. The company was sold in the spring of 2007 for $1.1 billion. Nancy Treaster is Senior VP for Global Marketing at Verint. She directs the company's solutions marketing, corporate communications, and channel and strategic partners marketing functions. Nancy also heads the efforts tied to aligning all marketing initiatives around Verint Solution Services, branding and positioning, as well as liaisoning with the organization's field marketing teams, both domestically and abroad. The TAG Education Collaborative, an invitation to all TAG members to make a difference in the future of our economy today by joining in the collaborative effort to make an impact on tomorrow's knowledge-based workforce in Georgia. Better performance from students, and stronger support for teachers working in science, technology, engineering, and math. Find out how, why, and what you can do as the Education Collaborative Executive Director, John Hurlbut, speaks with the collaborative leading board members, David Gould and Nancy Treaster.
Dave, Nancy, thank you very much for being with me on Tech Talk today.
Good to sit with you.
Thank you too, John.
Well, I want to first of all thank you both for being prominent members of our board of directors at the TAG Education Collaborative. We've done a lot in a short period of time, and I really appreciate you for your diligence and keeping us honest on a lot of great things. My first question to you is, does the technology community really care about STEM?
Well, if you think about a technology company, the foundation is really people. And to have a successful company, you need people that have the appropriate skills, not just technology skills, but analytical skills. And so there's a real visceral need that executives in the technology community have to have workers that have these skills. And so I think there is a long-term interest. On a short-term basis, there's also challenges getting the right people into your company. And some of those people are in the Atlanta area and some are not. And probably the most significant determining factor, other than the job itself, in getting a high-caliber individual to move with their family is the quality of the education system. And so on both dimensions, I think you've got a technology community that's both interested and actually has a need for this kind of help.
Thank you, Dave. And you mentioned a bit about the longer-term goal of developing a higher quality workforce. And I don't know if most people know, but the mission centers around connecting the Technology Association of Georgia resources with leading education initiatives. So my next question to you is, are there short-term benefits, or what are the short-term benefits for TAG members?
Yeah, admittedly, a high-quality workforce is a longer-term perspective, and we in the business community, whether technology or not, are often accused of not really thinking in terms of real long-term. From a short-term perspective, organizations and executives responsible for those organizations are always focused on ways to bring their people together in terms of morale and building collaboration. And one way you do that outside of work-oriented projects are community service events, and that can take many forms. And so there's a strong interest within the technology community, as represented through TAG, to really focus on those kinds of activities, community service activities, that can help bring that kind of group activity together. And I think that is a short-term benefit. And those, whether those happen every year, they happen every quarter, it varies by company, and some organizations are a little bit better at structuring those kinds of events. But I think you get the boost from, in terms of morale and collaboration. The flip side of that is organizations are often hit up pretty regularly to participate in community service events, whether they be walks to raise money or building houses, whatever it happens to be, all of which are fine activities. But in some cases, it's hard to say no. We don't like to say no. They're all worthy causes. And so there's a lot of pressure that's exerted on various executives within an organization to participate. And one value that the technology community can derive from the TAG Education Collaborative is using us as a filter and a buffer, in a sense, to make sure that they're not deluged with too many requests, and when they do participate in a community service activity, that it's one where they're going to get optimal value for their organization. So those are some of the short-term benefits I think organizations can get beyond just attracting and retaining high-caliber individuals that have got a good analytical and technology-oriented perspective.
That's great, Dave. TAG. Why TAG? What does TAG really bring to the table to help this initiative?
Well, TAG is I won't say the only technology organization in the state, but clearly it's the preeminent technology organization and has a very, very large membership with a lot of resources available to it and some very specific domain expertise in terms of science, technology, those types of aspects. So I think we bring a large group of people that are interested in this area. We bring resources beyond the people themselves, whether it be refurbished technology, equipment, or whatever it happens to be. And so I think by harnessing the resources of TAG and uniting those resources with leading education initiatives for STEM, and I guess we probably should mention what STEM stands for, since a number of people don't know. It's not stem cell research, which is what many of us thought for a very long time, but it stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. There's a very unique interest from the technology community in this specific area, and I think what you have is a very deep, broad set of resources that can be brought to bear against these initiatives to make sure that they get executed in the best possible way.
Thank you very much, Dave. I'm going to turn to Nancy now for a question or two. We've talked about TAG, and we're here for the TAG Education Collaborative in many respects. I was wondering, I imagine a lot of the viewers out there do not know what the relationship is between TAG and a TAG Education Collaborative. Could you help us with that?
Sure, John. The TAG Education Collaborative is definitely a response to the TAG membership and the TAG membership's desire, as Dave has already said, to help funnel a lot of the community activities and the community requests that they get. How can we help funnel those in such a way that supports not only our business in the long run, but supports our day-to-day community service activities within the business that we've got today for morale and team building purposes as well. So TAG created and effectively supports, if you will, the TAG Education Collaborative as a centralized community service capability or a organization to help really pull together those community service requests and provide the TAG membership with what it needed, which was a centralized place to go to help funnel their request and, frankly, funnel their community service activities towards things that support the long-term support of their business, like the ability to drive a workforce focused on increasing the skills around STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math.
Thank you very much, Nancy. I know that there are a number of STEM education initiatives that are out there. How do you see the TAG Education Collaborative helping maximize the work that's done in those areas?
A couple of things specifically. The TAG Education Collaborative really being that central point of focus for TAG members provides TAG members the opportunity to find education initiatives that support their needs, as well as really provides STEM education initiatives, a way to get to a community that cares about technology and cares about the kinds of things that they're trying to focus on helping educate our children on. So we've got obviously thousands of potential volunteers for these initiatives at our fingertips that we can connect and hopefully even connect in a more relevant way. So if there's someone who's interested in supporting education, specifically around engineering, then we should be able to help them find an education initiative that is in need of engineering help. Each of these education initiatives needs not only volunteers, but they need supplies, they need funding. There's lots of different ways that we as the community, the TAG community, can pull together to support education initiatives that further STEM within our community here.
Thank you, Nancy. Being a Georgia Tech graduate, I think maybe the next question, which could be our last question today, would be right up your alley. We're finding out within the TAG Education Collaborative that there are benefits to connect students with business and industry at an early age as possible. Can you tell us about any TAG Education Collaborative program that stands out for connecting Georgia's pre-college students to business and industry?
Well, one of the things that we did this year that was very unique is we pulled together a forum around interns, specifically pre-college students, and we went out to the TAG membership and found businesses who were interested in hosting these high school interns for several weeks. I think it was 4 to 5 weeks, depending on the company this summer. We actually pulled together 30 interns, and they went to 15 host companies. And that's a good example of the kind of thing that the TAG Education Collaborative can bring to the table. The TAG membership was interested in supporting an intern program, so we did not find an intern program that we felt was something that met our needs. So we actually incubated this concept specifically within the TAG Education Collaborative. We will be looking to expand that next year. It was very, very successful this year. But next year we'll be looking to try to find a partner who can help support it so that we can eventually move that initiative off and not be owning it ourselves, but have a partner own it. And then we'll continue trying to find the right partnerships to support what the TAG membership needs in the future.
Thank you so much, Nancy and Dave. We are so proud to have you two actively involved on our board of directors. We have made some tremendous headway, and I think that we're looking to do a lot to improve Georgia's workforce pipeline down the road. So I want to again thank you very much for being with us here today.